Most people are made up of about 60% water. But with some of us, it's a little more.
Hey, Jimmy!
Ah, hey, ladies.
Nice car.
Ah, thanks.
Nice bike.
The winner of the Seacliff Amateur Surf Comp, Jimmy Kane. Let's get pissed!
I can't believe you get away with living like this.
Taking surf photographs doesn't seem like a job, right?
Just don't tell anyone.
Mr. O'Reilly offered me a promotion.
That's fantastic. Like, when do you start?
I don't. I told him to shove it. It's all right, I've got another plan.
Is it legal?
Yep. Been staring us in the face the whole time. Look at this, will you? It's a well-oiled machine.
Hardly.
He's a natural, huh?
She couldn't take her eyes off me.
She was trying to work out if you were my brother or my dad. This is either the start of something cool or the beginning of the end.
Thanks very much for talking to us, Sam and Xavier.
Cool, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
how does it feel to be home, Sam?
It's good. It's always good to, it's nerve-wracking to come back, to be honest. I'll be straight up with you, because, and especially coming back with a product that showcases WA so much, and you hope that you've shown your state proud.
Yeah, and how does it feel to be back here instead of all over the place?
It's great. I always love coming back here, and my first introduction to Western Australia was this film Drift, and couldn't imagine a better place to film, really.
So just give us a quick rundown on your characters. Sam, JB first.
Well, JB's the wandering surf photographer who comes into these guys' life a bit like a guardian angel. He's always the one who's protecting them and making them realise that life is worth living.
Okay, and Dave?
Well, I play Jimmy Kelly, who's kind of an off the rails surfer who's got a bit of a rock and roll attitude and is searching for something more. He doesn't quite know what it is yet, and that's when he meets this guy.
Yeah. And what was it about the project that made you guys want to get on board with it?
I've known Miles 16 years. Like he's like my brother, and that's not the reason I signed on, but it was when he came to me and said, want to do this project. I said, well, go and keep developing it and see where it takes you. And by the time he kind of got back to me 7 years later, I could see his passion for it. And I love surfing. I used to go down to Margaret River a lot as a kid, and as I said, I saw Miles' passion. I saw what he'd done in that 7 years. So it was no longer a case of me just signing on because he's my friend. I was signing on because the project just seemed to be developed well and was a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually spent an afternoon on set as well, and it was, you could see Miles' passion. We watched the scene when he comes down the dune and runs into the water for you, and
Xavier,
and you could just see the passion.
Well, that's the thing. He had to wear two hats. He's the producer and the lead actor, and he that's a very tough position to be in. It's always tough to make any movie. It doesn't matter what the budget is or where you make it. It's a labour of love.
Yeah.
And it's a crapshoot labour of love because you don't know how well it's going to be received and how well it's going to travel and be embraced.
The danger of that is that you can look too objectively at it when you're actually acting in it. But he did a really great job of kind of leaving the producing stuff behind.
And it is his passion. His passion was to make something that was like hopefully his kid would be proud of that his dad did down the line.
And what was the first day on set like?
That's a good question. I mean, obviously everyone's keen to get the ball rolling, and I think there's just a feeling of everyone was excited, that especially someone like Miles who's been on it for 7 years, and Morgan who directed it is and Sam, they all studied together, so to see it kind of finally come to fruition, it's an exhilarating thing to.
By the time I came on a bit later into the process, and it was like a pretty well-oiled machine. And they had this balance down between the dramatic stuff and then racing to go and get the surf when the surf was up.
Yeah.
So I felt like the outsider coming into a really tight family when I got there. So, but before long, you're involved and you're away. So. And
because of your amazing hairstyles in the film, like when we were down there for that afternoon, you walked on set and sat there for 15 minutes before we even noticed that you're on, because you had your wetsuit on and your hair.
That's when I put on a few more pounds than I normally had. I had a big beard, and they're the kind of roles I'm looking for nowadays. I've had enough of being the pretty boy. Leave it up to the young blokes. I'm looking to kind of explore what this craft is, which is actually transforming and inhabiting characters that aren't you. And this was like the first step of the next chapter.
So you're going to go all Daniel Day-Lewis sort
I
of?
don't know. I did a movie recently where I don't look like me. I got bald with earrings and tattoos all over me, and showed a photo to him, Zav, and Zav was like, "Fuck, mate, who's that?"
Yeah.
And that's good. I think that's what it should be about. But
Yeah.
you know, in this industry, it's hard to do that crossover because there's so much pressure on the other side at the moment.
Exactly. And what was the most challenging thing about the drift shoot, other than the cold?
Being out in those swells, man, you
Yeah.
can't underestimate the power of waves down there, and it's different. And this hasn't got the CG budget or even a big budget or any budget really. It's, you know, so we actually had to get out in 20 to 30 foot swells. You know, it's 2 kilometres out of shore, so God knows what sea creatures are under there, like a megalodon or something. But it's like, you know, it's fun.
Megalodon.
You
I think I saw one of those.
I think Jim Cameron saw one. But I think, you know, when you're out in Mother Nature like that, you've got to be very careful. And
Yeah, definitely.
3 of us in a dinghy out there, that's a highlight and a scary light.
Well, that scene in the film was pretty scary to watch. So
It's scary to be out there, mate. It's
not,
it's not a walk in the park, that's for sure.
Definitely. So, did you guys get much downtime? Did you get to go to the local pub and have a drink, and it was a good time?
I will say no comments.
No comments.
No. Yeah, look, Margaret was great. And, you know, look, as I said, I was going down there when it wasn't even as built up as it is now.
Yeah.
And but the pub still hasn't changed.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we
the
were there long
people are
enough
friendly.
to, you know, there's a big community down
Yeah,
there.
we weren't the invading circus. Right? The community embraced us, which was really nice.
Now, Sam, I think you had the best set piece for the entire film, the bus. Did you want to take it home when you were done?
And I've bought so many cars off movies, and it's ridiculous. And it's the worst advice I can ever give anyone. Brian Brown told me originally, he said, don't buy a car off a movie because it's normally beat up and haggard. I'm a dumb fuck, I did. I bought a yellow ute off him. That thing was a lemon, never left the driveway. So there was no way I was going to touch that bus with a 20-foot barge pole, man. I've learnt my lesson.
Could have been getting around in some pretty serious stuff.
And I'll tell you, I bought that many flops of film sets. I still haven't learned. So I have to draw the line somewhere.
I think people will be asking a few strange questions of you if you were getting around in that bus.
Well, driving around in Hawaii and that I'd be all right.
Now, Xavier, what have you got coming up next, just to wrap up?
Well, I just finished a film called Healing over in just outside of Melbourne with, you know, Hugo Weaving and a good mate of mine, Mark Winter, and and there's another film called Two Mothers, or the title might have changed, but that's you know, it's a French-Australian co-pro, you know, two women fall in love with each other's sons. And
looks good. I saw the trailer.
Actually, I saw the trailer. That looks brilliant.
Looks real good.
Yeah, so that's you know, very very different kind of film, different atmosphere. But you know, I think people will find something in there.
Oh, fantastic! And Sam, I suppose you're jetting off to Pandora soon.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully.
So everything's all go for that?
I'll do a couple more movies in between, and that seems to be what happens. You go when the boss says, and he's still writing it and doing what he's doing, and we'll figure it out when we do it. If not, I'll be 60. See what happens.
Well, it took him X amount of years to get the first Avatar off the ground, so you never know.
But that's the thing. Jim doesn't have to jump for anybody. He puts a lot of time and thought and effort into how he can transport an audience. So I know that's what he's doing at the moment.
Definitely, I ran a cinema when Avatar came out, and so I got to see firsthand what the response was like.
Oh mate, it's ridiculous. Yeah, unbelievable.
Well, thanks very much for talking to us.
Cool.
Thank you.
Good luck with the opening of Drift, and we appreciate it.
Sounds
Cool.
great.
I've had an eye on your hippie mates. I'm going to keep an eye on you lot too.
We're on the outside, looking in.
We're never going to make ends meet working out of a backyard shed. We either expand or we fold. There's no in between.
Can't beat the man by becoming the man, yeah?
Those two are like chalk and cheese when it comes to their taste and things.
He's put our family at risk. He's put you, me, Mum, everyone at risk.
You did a pretty good job of that all by yourself.
Hey!
How did we end up here? Doesn't even look like me.
So much more than just you, kid.
You and Jimmy, you're like yin and yang. One pretty much sucks without the other.
We adapt, we survive, we move on.
I've got this, brother.
When you're out there today,
I already know what you're gonna say. Play safe.
I was going to say the exact opposite. Go for it, man. Get into it. It's the whole point, right?
Can't buy what we've got.